Hi. Now, this week, we are going to focus on another way to get into Warrior 3 pose. I hope you enjoyed last week's version of Warrior 3, where we focused about keeping space in the hip joints. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go find it, play it, learn it, and enjoy it. And then we're going to add on to that. So this variation of Warrior 3 is going to be, in the end, with a lot of these sustainabilized poses, because I was about to say, they're going to be less about the end result, that picture perfect image of what a yoga pose should be. That we don't care about what Warrior 3 should be. We're going to use Warrior 3 right now, and with this new sustainabilized version, we're going to use it as an opportunity to wake up your backside. Most of us really want to have and need to have a posterior chain that's going to be strong and supportive, and that's going to be helpful for your lower back, knees, so many parts of your body. So this variation of Warrior 3 is really going to help you with that. Now what you'll need are 2 blocks, and you'll place those 2 blocks just in front of your toes, about shoulder width apart. And I recommend you don't have to go, please use something. Don't bring your hands all the way to the floor, because it's less about a forward bend and more about trying to keep yourself, your torso relatively upright. Now just bring your fingertips to the blocks, feet about pelvis width apart, and then look down at your knees and have your knees move back a little bit so that they're more in line over your ankles. If you could see yourself on the side, you would see that your shins would be creating a vertical line here as best you can. And then that's going to mean that my pelvis is going to sit back. And in fact, let's all take our hands off of the blocks for a moment. Keep shifting your hips back like you're about to sit back into a chair and feel that work on your backside. That's what we're looking for. So here, what we're going to do is shift over to one side. I'm going to shift over to my left side. So I'm placing more weight into my left foot. And as I place more weight into my left foot, I'm going to peek over and see the outer edge of my left hip and notice if it's poking out. So if it's poking out to the side, I'll show that to the front here. So as I go here, as I shift my weight to the side, and if my hip comes with me, then I've gone too far. So try to keep that outer edge of your hip back. And again, when you do that, you're going to notice some good awakening through the hips, the back side. Now, shift over to that left side hip, and then start to take some of the work out of your right foot. Start to let your right foot lift up without losing that sense of stability through your outer left hip, or without letting your knee travel forward. Now you're going to let this other leg slowly come up. And in fact, for the first version, just stay here for a second, right? So just stay, feel the work here, and then allow your back leg to extend, but without straightening this front leg. Keep feeling like you're shifting your hips back. Your back leg can be high off the floor, low off the floor. It doesn't matter, because what we're really aiming for is getting the sense of big, strong work here. Now, as best you can from this position, you're going to try to straighten your knee, but keep a sense of resistance. A sense of resistance means you're really pushing your foot into the floor, specifically pushing your heel down as you stretch your knee to the wall behind you, as you try to keep some space inside your pelvis, inside that hip joint. And then breathe, and then release. Now, you might have done that and felt something wake up, and you might have done that and felt like, what am I supposed to feel? I'm not feeling anything. And sometimes the people who feel that are those with really, let's say, more open hamstrings. So if that's the case, if you just tried that with me and you're just like, cool, didn't really feel anything, what am I supposed to feel? We're going to try that again. So let's go back. I'm going to break it down one more time here. And we'll use our other leg as well. So feet are pelvis width apart, shift hips back. And here's a little quick tip. Now, if that didn't make sense for you, and even if it did make sense for you, this is going to still be really good. Hands onto your lower back, knees bent, trying to keep your shins over your ankles. So you're doing that reach back. Now, what we're doing with the hands on our back is trying to keep your back right where it is, and then try to move your knees to the wall behind you. But there's resistance, because the easy way to do this is I straighten my legs, my pelvis lifts up. More challenging way to do this is Don't let your pelvis rise up. Press your knees back. Press your heels, feet down as you move into the knees back so that we're creating resistance, really waking up the back here. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense for you and will help as we quickly go to the other side. So here we are, feet pelvis width apart, fingertips on blocks, and then shift your weight over to your right foot or your other one, depending on which leg you used. Outer hip pulls back, knee bent, and then I'm going to start to shift, bring my foot off. Now remember, there's phases of this. You don't have to fully extend this back leg. You can keep it bent for this version. I'm going to show it like that. My knee's just going to bend, shifting my knee over my ankle, and then trying to straighten up. And then I'm going to try to bring my leg out while I straighten. Holy moly, the back of my legs are waking up. Really nice and light on the fingertips, on the blocks if you can. Good, and then come out. Whew. So I hope you can try that, and if it doesn't make sense right away, try it a couple different times. There's another tutorial that I have, an SI joint tutorial, that if you can scroll down and try to find that here on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube. I talk a little bit more about how to get that contraction through the back of the legs, because I know in my experience teaching this a lot is that it can sometimes make instant sense for some people, not a lot of sense for others. But either way, try it. And then if you have that awakening and if you feel those muscles nice and strong, then you can add that a little bit into your warrior threes here, where you're maybe just floating, starting with the knee bend, and then try to straighten up with that sense of contraction at the back of the legs, and then integrating that sense of space in your hip joint, arms forward. And so do I look like the photographs in the yoga journal or any other yoga poses? It doesn't matter. But guess what? I'm working in a brand new way and it feels amazing. So I hope that helps. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube page here, and don't forget to sign up for my weekly newsletter so that you can get, so if you go to heartandbonesyoga.com, you'll get these Movement Mondays along with other updates weekly straight into your inbox. So can't wait to see you next time.